Hey everyone. In ancient Vedic lore, Africa was known as Kushadeep or Kushadvipa. Two reasons for this is because large stretches of land were covered by the tall grass known as Kusha grass in Sanskrit. And after the war between Rama and Ravana, the continent was under the administration of Rama's son Kush or Kusha. African school textbooks also describe Africans as Kushites, testifying to this piece of information. Today, let's know about the Vedic cultural influence in Africa, which is also known as Kushadeep. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Swami Krishnanand once visited the Abyssinian monarch Haile Selassie and presented a copy of the Ramayana. He thought the Christian rulers were not likely to have heard of the book, but was pleasantly surprised to hear the monarch's remark, "This is nothing new to us. We Africans are Kushites." This is what motivated Krishnanand to search the African school textbooks and find references of Africas designated as Kushites. The textbooks provided more evidence of Africa's ancient administration of Kusha. However, the textbooks wrongly mention Kusha's father as Ham instead of Rama. That is because Rama was spelled in western regions as Ram. In course of the time, the R was dropped and what was left was Ham. Other strong Ramayanic links with Africa can be recognized in the islands of Mauritius off the eastern coast of southern Africa. The island gets its name from Marichas, meaning the island of Marichi, who was one of the generals in the army of the demon Ravana and also a name for the sun. Lord Rama, however, routed all the demons out of the area during the war with Ravana and made Marichi flee to the stronghold of the demons. In a book by Drusilla Dungy Houston titled The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kusha Empire, she indicates that the ancient name for the landmass of Africa was Kushadvipa. This is also a name mentioned in the Bhagavad Purana and in the Ramayana, which records the activities and pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Some people feel he appeared at least 1 million to 2.5 million years ago. Lord Rama had two sons, Lava and Kusha. Each son was given half of the earth planet to rule after the great war between the Rama and the demon Ravana. Africa was an area that was under the rule of Lord Rama's son Kusha, for which it became known as Kushadvipa. For this reason, the African people were also known as Kushites. Thus, Kush is the ancient Vedic name known for Africa. So the Vedic connection with Africa goes back no less than to the Ramayanic times. Another reference in this regard is found in the Bible in the book of Numbers chapter 12 verse 1, in which it is said, "And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses on account of the Kushite wife he had taken, for he had taken a Kushite wife." This means that Kush and Kushites were a distinct and recognized culture and people that existed from before the time of Moses. It also shows that Moses had taken a woman from this country as a wife. Most biblical scholars associate Kush with the area of Ethiopia. In the above verse, Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses for having taken the woman as a wife because she was ethnically different from them. Africa in ancient times was also known as Shankadvipa. The word Dvipa is Sanskrit for island and Shankha is Sanskrit for conch. This was because Africa was like a large island in the shape similar to a conch shell. The English word conch is a derivative of the Sanskrit shank. This also shows how the Vedic rulers were so familiar with Africa that they knew its shape as seen from miles above it. The African Swahili language and other local dialects bear the remnants of its original Sanskrit. For instance, the Swahili word Simba for lion is a Sanskrit word, Simha. The name of the country, Abyssinia, gets its names from the corruption of two Sanskrit words, Up and Sindhu, meaning the waters of the Sindhu River, the modern Indus. This signifies that this area was once a settlement of people who had come from the Indus region. Elsewhere in Africa, we find that Somalia is connected with Soma and whose people worship the moon. Tangyanka, from the Sanskrit term Tang Nayak, meaning the great leader, and Zanzibar, similar to the Sanskrit name Kanchipur, have merged to become Tanzania. The port city Dar es Salaam is a Sanskrit term Dwar-e-Shalayam, which means the gateway to the temple of God. This also shows how the Vedic culture was in, or at least influenced, in Africa. E. Pocock, in his book India in Greece, mentions that Philostratus concluded that the Ethiopians were originally an Indian race. They were compelled to leave India for the sin of killing a certain monarch to whom they owed allegiance. Pocock goes on to say that another Egyptian remarked that he had heard from his father that Indians were the wisest of men and that the Ethiopians, a colony of the Indians, preserved the wisdom and usages of their fathers and acknowledged that this was their origin. He also found the same conclusion that had been made at a later period by Julius Africanus, from whom it had been preserved by Eusebius and Syncellus. Thus, Eusebius had also stated that the Ethiopians migrated from the Indus region and settled in the vicinity of Egypt. When we analyze the religions of Africa today, we can still recognize that the basic concepts regarding God and life on earth in the traditional African religions are in line with the essential principles of Vedic culture. Such things as the methods of divination and the rites of passage are similar to that found in Vedic traditions. Also, contact with the divinity was a major factor in life in the Kushite culture. Most all traditional African religions accept a supreme being, but his function differs according to region. They also accept lesser gods, respect the ancestors, and practice magical rituals. The Mbuti Pygmies believes in a supreme creator in the form of an old man as Lord of the sky. They also have reverence for the moon. There is also a benevolent god of the forest to whom many pray and who exists in the trees. They also have ritual dancing and feasting at festivals for religious purposes and at the puberty rites for the boys and girls. The Bushmen in southern Africa believe in celestial spirits and have legends that explain their characteristics. The personifications of natural forces are also accepted, and these forces are invoked when the need arises, as in the case of rain. From Kalahari and the Congo to Tanzania, there is a belief in an omnipresent supreme creator who punishes and rewards people according to their works. But there are few organized religious societies and no big temples to regularly offer formal worship to the Supreme. However, the general belief is that anyone can pray to God in time of need, and He oversees all the functions of nature and the earth. Belief in life after death is found everywhere. Part of the funeral ceremony often contains rites to make sure the dead will remain at peace and not become a restless ghost, all of which is common in Vedic knowledge. The ancient African religions have now faded as Islam and Christianity and continue to spread, but many of the old rituals and beliefs have simply merged with these new religions, which is beautiful on its own. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.